Adversity is what makes us really good.
Oh,
Really great.
definitely.
There's a lot of wisdom in what doesn't kill you, makes you stronger.
We start with ourselves. We change that deeply in our heart. Then our way of communication, our way of reporting, our way of talking with the people will definitely be changed.
Governance, sound governance is the foundation for success.
A lot of people, I can tell they miss is the 360 relationship.
People focus on the technical. What really makes success is not the technical, it is the relationships we build. I am like a doctor. I'm like a company doctor. I come and inspect what's wrong, help them heal so they can get better.
We are like a doctor. At the end, with all of that pains and suffering, you will say to the doctor, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Why? Because you know that it's better for future.
Absolutely.
So that's us.
Many auditors, all they care about is delivering the report, but internal audit is so much bigger than that.
We are the gauges to tell you where the things are wrong and how to fix it.
You know you're meant for more. More meaning, more influence, more impact. Welcome to Impact Legacy with Rania. I'm Rania Bejjani, board advisor and mentor to leaders globally. I'm here to show you how to stand out, shine, and lead with more authenticity, heart, and joy. Join me and my guests as we share inspiring human stories and decode the mindset and strategies you need to build trust, influence at the top table, and claim your impact in the AI era. Your legacy starts now. Let's begin. Hello and welcome to another episode of Impact Legacy with me, Rania. It is my pleasure to host today the Chief Internal Audit Officer for the Royal Commission of Al-Ula, a flagship organization transforming the northwest of Saudi Arabia into a world-class archaeological, cultural, and tourism destination under Saudi Vision 2030. His team recently won the Gold Award for Internal Audit Excellence in Saudi Arabia. He began his career at Deloitte in external audit, continued at Sadaf, which is now part of SABIC, and then joined Aramco, where over the period of 19 years, he advanced through key leadership roles, setting up and leading internal audit for various Aramco business divisions, including in Beijing, China, where he spent several years. Alongside his chief audit role at RCU, he serves on several audit committees and is a board of director of the Saudi Authority for Internal Audit. Please welcome Maher Saad Alaiyadhi. Maher, such a pleasure to have you here with me today.
Thank you very much, Rania. Thank you very much.
Maher, to start off, it would be wonderful to know a little bit more about yourself. If you could tell us a bit more about your journey and what shaped you into the leader you are today. Like, what were those moments in your career that were pivotal moments?
Okay. Beside what you introduced me in the beginning, if you're talking about certain moments that create Maher, I think it's a lot, but I will focus on some of them, and I will give you a brief about my journey. I graduated from Saudi Arabia, from KFPM University, with accounting major, but I never practiced accounting a lot. That's the one of the key things, maybe, I don't know. I worked as an oh, really? That's good. I worked as an external auditor in the beginning to gain the experience, and I'm sure you know why we are an accountant. We love to work as an external auditor because you will see different methodology, different companies. You will look at a lot of things. Besides, if you are working just as an accountant in any company, then you will be able to see a small portion of the ecosystem of accounting. However, if you are working as an external auditor, you will have a plenty of of audits, companies, teams, and so on. So that's why I decided to work as an external auditor.
Mm-hmm.
I worked there for 2 years. Then I got a good chance to work with Sadaf, one of SABIC's affiliates. I worked there for 5 years in finance. Then I know, and I know myself that I'm more an auditors, more than an accountant. And I decided to join an internal auditing because I see and I know that it's much more, adding value, let's say, to the entity. I'm not saying that the external auditor is not adding value, but definitely it's not the same as the internal auditor
Mm-hmm.
because you are part of the entity. You work inside the organization. Your objective is the management objective to achieve the company or the entity objective. Your observations, recommendations, and so on adds value, and you see it yourself. So that's why I decided to join an internal auditing. I worked in Sadaf for one or two engagements as an internal auditor. Then I loved it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got an offer from Saudi Aramco
Uh-huh.
to work as an internal auditor. I joined there in 2002. Then I worked in Saudi Aramco for about 19 years, 19 or 20, let's say 19 years. Then I decided to move out. Then I joined the Royal Commission for Al Ula. Within Aramco, I worked in several places. I worked in auditing department, and then I got the marvelous chance to work in China as a deputy chief auditor. Maybe we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
And then I worked in Beijing as a head of internal auditing. Then I go back to Saudi Arabia. I established a compliance function in supply chain within Saudi Aramco. Then I worked as a VP of support services in Saudi Center of Strategic Partnership
Mm-hmm.
as establishment. Then go back to Aramco. I worked with Sadara as a chief auditor for 3 years. Then I
Mm-hmm.
said, enough is enough. I need to see something new and different. Then I moved to the government sector and I work with the Royal Commission for Al Ula. Um, if you ask me what is the period that's shaped me a lot, I will say that's the first 5 years in China
Uh-huh.
as a deputy chief auditor because I was an in-charge auditor, a lead auditor in Aramco. Then I picked up to be as a deputy chief auditor with a different, definitely scope,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of responsibilities. I worked with the JV, and that JV contains four main shareholders: Saudi Aramco, ExxonMobil, the Fujian government of China, definitely, and the Sinopec company, the leader in China in oil and petrochemicals.
Mm-hmm.
Then petrochemicals. Then at that time, I used to know only the audit program, the planning memo, and how to conduct an audit. Then become a deputy chief
Mm-hmm.
auditor in China with different partners.
Mm-hmm.
Logistics wise, it was horrible, to be honest. I left my family in a city, living there. They don't speak English well. They don't speak Chinese at all, and the city there, the people outside, barely you find someone speaks English. My kids were young. My eldest son was in grade 5,
Uh-huh.
and he never studied English. Then he started there in China in Xiamen city. I'm living and in this city, but I working in a faraway city, a 2 hours drive. It's not a city; it's a village. So I cannot bring my family to the village, and I have to leave them in this beautiful city, Xiamen,
Mm-hmm.
and I commute every weekend to them. So
Yeah.
it's a hardship in a hardship.
It's a hardship and a hardship. It's a well known that adversity is what makes us really good,
Oh,
really great.
definitely,
Adversity
definitely.
is what takes us like to the next
Ah,
level, there's a lot of wisdom in what doesn't kill you makes you stronger and brighter and
Yeah,
smarter.
definitely.
That's fantastic.
Definitely. If you let me keep talking about the experience in China, then I will not stop. Then we will take the whole time. So
Then we
I
will.
was
Then
so if you
let's
like,
go.
if you
Maybe we
like, I will
can
stop.
continue.
It's up to you.
No,
If you want me to continue, I
maybe we
can
can
continue.
continue the China and through different questions
Okay.
so that we can cover it. I'm curious, did your kids learn Chinese and did you learn Chinese?
Yes, yes, I learned a lot of Chinese, I can say. I always say
Okay.
to my friends, I know a little, but whenever they saw me talking to others, they said, "Oh, come on, you are cheating us. You talk a lot, you can speak very well."
That's good.
Definitely, I'm not speaking very well, but comparing to others who knows zero, I'm definitely better, you know?
Sure. And you're also the first non-Chinese to have
Yes,
received the Chinese certified internal auditor.
yes.
Wonderful. That is
Yeah,
wonderful.
I got a Fujian at that time. The Globe IIA were not in China, so they
Mhm.
have their own IIA.
Uh-huh.
And for that province, Fujian province, I got the test and I passed the test, and they gave me the certificate.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
I mean, this China experience makes it is rather not very common. So I can only begin to imagine the richness from a cultural point of view. So not only you're learning about the new JV, you're
definitely,
learning about the new culture,
definitely.
country, a new ways of working, and taking on more responsibilities and managing the adversity.
Yeah, yeah. I loved
Certainly,
it, Rania, and in a way that even my friends when they or my family when they saw a Chinese people around or so they will point to me. They said, "Oh, your family, your so your friends are here." So
that's
I love them. I lived there for 7 years, and
great.
I had a great time. I have a lot of good friends. I never forget the years in China. How, as I mean, as you mentioned, enrich my knowledge and their culture, the way they are thinking, the way they are doing. And also, to be honest, it was very good to my family and my kids.
Of course.
My wife started to shape up as a good, as a different personality, open-minded. She studied Chinese, she studied English. She is very smart and she never stopped learning. That's one of the things that I never, I always, raised the hat for her, and she supported me definitely in my work and my life. Otherwise, I will not be in my level now without my family and specifically my wife's support. My kids learned English and they continue learning English, and they learn Chinese, but they didn't have the English now. Now they learned English. Definitely, they are big enough. They are two of them are working, and they are fluent in English, all of them. I remember. I will give you just a small, short story, and it's very, lovely, and it will talk about itself. I
Yeah.
remember when we are flying to China, I was sitting in front seats with my wife and my kids behind, and one of my kids, I don't remember who, he knocked me and he said, "What she's saying?" He's talking about the flight attendant. Then I told him, "She's asking you what do you want to eat?"
Yes.
Then he said, "Okay, when in the summer is coming, okay, after let's say 6 months or 7 months or so, when
Yes.
we are back, they never ask me anything, and they are talking with everybody in English. Imagine.
That's
So
wonderful.
it is
Yes,
definitely
wonderful. I
it
mean,
is. Yeah,
kids are like sponge. They absorb everything. And
definitely.
I love Maher. I really love the fact that you are bringing in aspects of your family to this conversation because as leaders, we are not in a bubble. We don't live in a bubble. We can't thrive without the support of family, of friends, of the community, and support. And my hope is that through this podcast, we can be like a big internal audit and risk management and compliance community all over the world, really supporting each other. And I love that you brought up the your appreciation for your wife because the role of the spouse doesn't always get the attention it needs, and it's such an encouragement also to all women and men who are listening to us. So wonderful. I love it. And I also love your
Thank you.
passion for internal audit, which we share.
Yes.
So, Maher, you are now at the Royal Commission of Al Ula. And last time I was in your office, I loved the picture. The pictures, it's amazing. For those who may not know and be familiar with Al Ula and the Royal Commission for Al Ula, can you give us a sense, please, of what is the project, the scale, the ambition, and then what does it really mean for you as a leader to lead internal audit in such an exciting program and with such strategic importance for Saudi Arabia?
Okay. If we talk about Al-Ula, you know, whatever I'm gonna say, it will not be enough to explain Al-Ula. So I encourage everyone to come and visit Al-Ula. It has its own magic, you know. Whenever now I'm about 5 years here in the Royal Commission for Al-Ula, and I swear to God, Rania, every time I go to Al-Ula, I go with excitement to go to Al-Ula. And
Okay.
when I come back, I leave Al-Ula and I feel I want to stay more.
Oh,
You
beautiful.
know, imagine it's about 5 years, and every year I go about 6, 7, 10 times, let's say, in average. So it's a very lovely place, very quiet, very nice. It has its own magic. This word, maybe everyone say it. Al-Ula has its own magic. Now, the RCU, I can say it is the governor of Al-Ula. We are, regulating everything. We are trying to establish, or we are establishing the infrastructure. Um, uh, so we build hotels, but we don't own hotels. We give it to another entity as we are just regulators.
Mhm.
So many things: agriculture, hotels, hospitals, health. The beauty of it as well is we are developing the citizens of Al-Ula by themselves. We sending them for giving them scholarship, sending them abroad to study things
Fantastic.
that belong to Al-Ula. It's so many things. So I will. It's need an 1 hour or maybe even more to talk about it. But that's a brief about Al-Ula, and it's very lovely place. It is a historical place. It's a biggest open museum. It's in the UNESCO. So many things.
That is so wonderful. And how does it impact you as a leader? What does it mean for you as a leader to be part of such a grand, amazing initiative that has such a strategic importance for Saudi Arabia?
Okay, Rania, we talked about how you feel as an internal auditor when you see your observations and recommendations are applied and adding value to
Yes.
the entity. That's always the feeling of the internal auditor when he see that his let's say work are there and helping the entity. Al-Ula adds a lot to me. The Royal Commission for Al-Ula adds a lot to me, definitely. And I think we, as an internal auditing, we had a lot to them. I learned a lot here. I learned from the management. I learned how to, work with different mentalities, with
Yeah.
different stakeholders. We have a lot of things are unique here. I worked in Aramco for, as I mentioned to you, for about 19 to or 20 years, and I learned a lot about plants, gas, and so on. But
Yes.
here in Al-Ula, it's a bit different. It's more of culture, historical, hospitality, infrastructure, and so on. So it's really different. It's private, from private to a governmental sector. Uh, I'm very happy here in Royal Commission for Al-Ula. Imagine that I receive maybe I will not exaggerate if I say I'm receiving monthly a call to leave Al Ula or the Royal Commission for Ula and go out, but I don't feel that I can do it. I'm not a jumper. If you know that, as I mentioned, 2 years in Deloitte, 5 years in Sadaf, Sabic's affiliate, and 20 years in Aramco, then about 5 years now here. So I'm not a jumper. I'm a steady.
Yes, yes. Yes, this is actually wonderful. A friend of mine was involved in the development of the RCU at the beginning,
Mhm.
like from 2019 to I don't know 2023, something like that. And she used to share with me all these amazing photos, and I'd love to go. And I saw all these amazing photos also
You
in your
have to.
office. Yes,
You
I'd
have
love
to.
to. Well, next time maybe we do a podcast in Arabic in Al Ola.
Why not? Will be wonderful.
Yes, yes, we should do that.
A lot of sightseeing in the background. It will be
Oh,
amazing.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Inshallah, inshallah, we do that.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, we do that. And talking of seeing you in Riyadh, Maher, like before I go further, I really want to thank you again for the warm hospitality when I saw you, when I visited you in your office, because, the traditional coffee, the dates, it was such a lovely gesture, and it really stayed with me. Thank you so much. I really appreciated it. And
You're
for
welcome,
anyone
Ali.
who's not been to Maher's office, I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous, and it's every meeting room has like a sight from Al Ola and pictures everywhere, and you just feel transported. And Maher is an amazing host.
Thank you very much.
And Maher, it's actually, for any Saudi talented, ambitious person listening to us, I mean, how interesting that you've worked with some of the biggest Saudi icons, Sadaf, Aramco, now RCU. I mean, you're embodying the journey of Saudi ambition in a way. So that's lovely.
Mhm.
That's lovely. Now, you talked a lot about Aramco, and obviously you stayed there for 20 years, 19 years. And you held various roles in different divisions, building internal audit. You spent time in China, which obviously has marked you really well. And as we said, you were the first foreigner to acquire the CCIA there. And now you've got your RCU leadership, which obviously you're so passionate about. You're also a board member at the Saudi Authority for Internal Auditors, and a board member on a variety of audit committees across different sectors, from third sector to private to governmental. What would you say were the leadership lessons that this journey has taught you? What were like your leadership key insights if you were to, I don't know, your top 5 things or whatever it is that kind of shaped you and that you use now in your different boards and leadership roles to create the trust, the influence, and make an impact? At the end of the day, the podcast is called Impact Legacy. So we're interested in knowing what, in your experience, created impact.
Okay. Maybe I'll give you one thing, okay, that I believe a lot on, and I think if anyone applied that, it's enough. It will covers everything.
All right, I'm all ears.
Okay. Yeah. There is a saying says that the photo worth 1,000 word,
Yes.
right? I'll tell you one thing, that if anyone apply, then it's worth thousands of words. My philosophy, Rania, is if I like something on my boss, I'm talking about all my career, then I will apply it. But if I don't or dislike something that my boss do to me, I will never do it to my employees. That's one thing. Okay.
Reciprocity. Yes.
Yes. So by that, you will, while you are working and, progression or progressing in your life, if you apply this, then once you reach the top, you are the best because you eliminated all the bad things that's happened to you or you faced, and you are implementing and taking the good things that the people around you do, then you will grab all of them together. Then you will have the best mixture at the end. The second thing, very important, that a lot of people, I can tell they miss, is the 360 relationship. I'm sure you know, Rania, that some people, they are very good with their boss, but they are very bad with their employees. And some of them, they are good with both, but they are bad with the peers. So you have to be the 360. You are good and have a good relationship with your boss, and you have a very good relationship with your employees and also with your peers. By this, you will be successful.
I love
Uh,
that. That is so true. I love that. Mm.
yeah, the others, I think, if you open Google or ChatGPT, it will give you a lot of things about leadership. I will not, repeat what a lot of people or leaders talk about, but I will give only this two for me. They are the key things. If anyone apply, he will be successful.
This is actually wonderful. And anyway, you're summoning up the core spirit of this podcast because and of you're articulating beautifully my philosophy because I believe to succeed as a leader, be it in internal audit, risk management, compliance, or whether it be marketing, sales, IT, HR, impact is the same and people is the same.
Exactly.
Um, I believe oftentimes people focus on the technical, and they miss
Yes.
what really makes success is not the
Yes.
technical. It is the relationships we build. And this is
100%.
what creates the trust and what creates the impact. I love that. This is wonderful. And so let's recap on what you said. You talked about um, basically you don't do to others what you don't want to be done to yourself. This is quite spiritual actually. And that you build the 360 relationships.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take it a step further when you talked about like a picture speaks 1,000 words. This is like you're bringing the whole, the richness of sensory experience when you are explaining things. It's not just 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you, Maher. We're so aligned. Um, and I also love that this focus on relationships is as you know, I'm originally from Lebanon and you're from Saudi Arabia, and this focus on relationships is so important for us in our part of the world as well. It really
True.
makes such a cultural difference.
Yes, and it's also the same in the Far East, in China, and
Correct.
it's the same.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
relationship
Correct.
is very important, and
Yeah.
it makes things flow easily.
Yeah, let me tell you a little personal story about China. I went there. I think it was a few months before no, maybe it was like a year or two before they did the Olympics in Beijing. And when I went
2008.
there, yes, so I went in 2006. And when I went there on my first night, I was, roaming and discovering, I love being the tourist, and I was in Tiananmen Square. I met a group of Chinese students because there was like a university exhibition nearby. And we cut a deal that they were going to
Yes.
show me around and I will teach them English. So it was like we speak in English and they show me around. And it was one of
Wow.
the most amazing holidays I've had. And one
Okay.
of them, we're still very good friends. And every time he comes to the UK, I see him. And whenever,
Nice.
I'm there. And that's what, like, it's
Wow.
been nearly 20 years.
Yes.
This relationship so important.
Wow.
Yes, 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 yes,
Yeah. By
yes.
the way, Rania, do you know why they made it in 2008?
It must be something to do with the number eight, isn't it?
Exactly. Exactly. It was 8 August 2008.
Yes. So it's like an
Yeah.
auspicious number.
They love the number 8.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful.
Mm.
Well, thank you, Maher, for sharing. This is all really amazing, amazing. Um, and actually, before I go to the next question, I want to share something something special about Saudi Arabia for me. I don't think I've told you before, but I've always had a soft spot because my dad, before I was born, worked for 15 years across different parts of
Oh,
Saudi Arabia. Yes, he
okay.
worked in Riyadh, in Jeddah, in Al Khobar. Before I was born, but growing up, all I heard were all like he had he had a business and he was involved in a lot of construction and
Mm.
bless his soul, he passed away when I was young.
Oh, sorry
But
for that.
thank you, thank you. And but like I grew up listening to all these amazing stories about
Mm.
Saudi Arabia, and so when I went there, it was like coming home. I really loved it. It was so nice.
Mhm.
It was so nice. The
Nice.
generosity of the people, the kindness, the culture, the warmth, really beautiful. I felt like I was connecting with my dad, actually.
God bless him.
Thank you. God bless you too.
Thank you.
All right. Now, so on a professional level, what I really admire about Saudi Arabia, and I tell everyone about it to the point that I'm annoying some people about this, but what I really admire is that the strong position that you've taken on matters of governance. So
Yes.
apart from the amazing ambition and drive that Saudi Arabia has and the great vision, is that by like a royal decree, corporate governance has been elevated and internal audit, specifically the IIA, has become an authority. So it's not just an institute, it's an authority. And by law, it's mandated that the chief audit executive will report to the board and will report to the CEO. So this is a different game. This is a really stepping up. And whereas a lot of companies around the world still don't have clear guidance on this independence, or it's a bit washy-washy, there was a very firm stance. And I think KSA, along with the United Arab Emirates, Singapore, and Hong Kong, are probably the leaders in that space. And that's a lot more stringent than, say, even the West, even the UK where I live, or the US, or Europe, etc., etc. So you are on the board of the Saudi Authority for Internal Auditors, which I'm sure is very exciting. I'd love to hear your perspective. What what drove Saudi Arabia to do that, and also what role did you and the Saudi Authority of Internal Auditors played in getting that result?
Thank you, Rania, to bringing this up. I really agree with you, definitely. And I mentioned that several times in several TV, even interviews. His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman is the leader on this, to be honest. And he is the one who's, bringing and lifting up the governance in Saudi Arabia. So whatever we do in the Saudi Authority of Internal Auditing, in our board, in audit committees, is following what he is applying, and his vision. He definitely lifting up the corporate governance and the governance in all Saudi Arabia, being it private or public, wherever. I'll give you one thing, then you will know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
I'm an internal auditor since 2002, or even before. And at that time, whenever we met anyone and he asked me, where you work, what is your job? Then I said, I'm an internal auditor. He will not know. Rarely people knows what is internal auditing. But now, with his vision, everybody knows what is internal auditing. Everybody knows what is governance. And that's why the Saudi Authority of Internal Auditing shine like a star, and they are doing whatever they are doing because of his ambitious vision 2030, and the applying and taking care of the governance, because he believes that governance is one of the main important aspect to be successful, which is definitely we both and all of the governance people believes that this is the right thing to do. We are so proud. I am so proud of having him here, and we are under his umbrella.
Governance, sound governance is the foundation for success. That's wonderful. And
It is
so,
the tone from the top.
absolutely, this is the toughest top you're gonna get. Absolutely,
Exactly. Yes,
absolutely.
yes.
Well done for all of you in Saudi Arabia, and I really wish you great success with that vision.
Thank you
It's
very much.
very impressive, very
Thank you.
impressive. Now, and what role is the Saudi Authority of Internal Auditors playing in in infusing more drive for internal auditors in Saudi Arabia?
They are doing a lot of things, to be honest. Last week we had the conference, the Saudi Arabia IIA conference, or now they changed it to Saudi Authority IA conference. It was
Yes, I saw the
amazing
pictures,
one.
great pictures.
Yeah, yeah. It's promoting internal auditing, regulating internal auditing, internal auditors,
Mhm.
training, so many things. So they are, the authority taking care of everything for internal auditing
Mhm.
certifications, training, conferences, so many things. Regulating now, and I'm proud to be part of the board of the Saudi Authority for Internal Auditing for the second time, and I'm happy to be there, and happy to be part of that success. So I hope that we continue the same or even better. And in 2027, we're gonna have the Globe conference in Saudi Arabia. That's one of their success. We have the chairman of the authority, part of the Globe board members. We have the Arabic IIA now in Saudi Arabia, and we are part of that, and they have their own office and everything, their headquarter in Saudi Arabia. So many things to talk about. So we are proud of whatever we did, let's say, and we hope that we continue and serving the kingdom and the internal auditors in Saudi Arabia, all of them, citizens or residents.
Mashallah, congratulations. Congratulations. That sounds really, really impressive. Well done. So, as I'm listening to you, Maher, I feel really enthused and excited. I feel really enthused for the next chapter of internal auditing. I feel enthused for internal auditing in the Arab world, but also for internal auditing across the world. And I know that you and I share similar passion and drive. We've spoken at conferences before together. Last year, we've exchanged ideas a number of times. I've visited you in Riyadh in May, and I know that we have we share that vision of a high impact, high influence, strategically positioned internal audit function that makes a positive difference. I believe that audit should be the catalyst for positive change in a business, and this is the journey I've taken over my life. As you know, I advocate a lot for internal audit and for elevating and changing the perceptions. The same problem you had before in Saudi Arabia, where people did not really understand audit, or if they did understand it, they did not really value it, is very common across the world. And I've been a relentless advocate in changing perceptions and elevating perceptions. So auditors themselves see the value they bring, because this is part of the problem, and that we change how other parts of the business and society see internal audit. And like I've been a chief audit executive 3 times in 3 global large organizations. I had teams all over the world, and now I have my own business, mentoring, advising, training, speaking about internal audit, and super excited about it. I understand a little bit also your perspective about how how are you doing that change at RCU and how you've built it. And yeah, would love to explore that path with you.
Rania, thank you very much. I like you keep praising me a lot in this
Well
podcast,
deserved.
but thank you very much. Let me ask you some question if you don't mind.
Sure.
Yeah, I will flip the roles now.
All right. Okay.
I know, Rania, you as you mentioned, you've been three times as a chief internal auditor in great places. Now, mashallah, you are an advisor, mentor, trainer, speaker, and you are helping heads of auditing and GRC to shape up to
Yeah.
and set up them. So tell me, what is it as a strategic partner? How does it look like in your views?
Thank you for that question. Maher, this is something I'm really passionate about. And uh, a strategic partner for me is someone who truly understands what internal audit is. We talked a little earlier about people getting stuck into thinking about technical skills or, just about delivering a report. For many auditors, all they care about is delivering the report. But internal audit is so much bigger than that and goes beyond the report. It is about understanding the business. It's about understanding the strategy of the business, aligning to that strategy of the business. And I really put a lot of emphasis on the word partner because I'm not here as a police. I'm not here to observe and criticize. I'm not here to force you to do something. But as an internal audit leader, I'm here to really help you understand the bigger why. Why do you need to change things, and how does that link to what is important to the business and the strategy, the growth, and that everything as audit we do should be linking to creating that value to the business. So yes, of course, we need to have reports and things like that, but it's a lot more about, as we were saying earlier, relationships, building the trust, the engagement, understanding the needs of the boards, understanding the needs of the executives, working in alignment with them so that we can deliver that value. It is also about thinking deeply about what we are offering. So we're not just sharing reports that put pressure on the business, but about acknowledging the constraints, acknowledging and coming up with workable things that add value. So a strategic partner is one that thinks about strategy, one that builds relationships and trust and influence, one that is actually partnering, so walking the path with the management, not coming after or, to criticize, but walking the path. Yes, we have to provide constructive challenge. Sure, that's part of it, but we do it in such a way that we're communicating, speaking the language of the business and being of help. And this is like and part of that is also building a highly focused team, a team that gets it. So there is alignment from the leader to everyone in the team, to the audit committee chair, to the board execs. And uh, a lot of that comes down to what I was also saying earlier. Often auditors themselves don't see that they are the value creators. So we need to change that mentality and that
True.
mindset. And that's what I do with my clients, whether it be through an advisory to help them build or transform an internal audit function or risk management or
Yeah.
GRC function, or whether it be through mentoring one-on-one or group coaching for the team, workshops or training. And that change so they can build their own confidence, strategic understanding, change their understanding of themselves and their role in the business, and really deliver value on time, foresight, working in partnership. And I
Wow.
love that.
Wow. 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 You covered everything. No
Well,
wonder you are a mentor and the speaker and the trainer, Rania. I
28
will.
years, Maher, 28
Yeah.
years.
I have I have another question.
Sure,
However, I have a small, it's not an example, but it's kind of, it's a saying or something like that.
sure.
Let me just to summarize whatever you said in a different way. I always say that two things. I always say that the internal auditing or the internal auditor is like when you're driving a car and you have all the gauges in front of you for the
Yes,
gasoline, for the speed, for the temperature of the car, and everything. Okay, Imagine that you are driving a car and you don't have all of that gauges in front of you.
مظبوط. Correct.
Yes, we are the gauges. We can tell you there is a risk of temperature, high temperature in the car. There is one of the tires is not, is flat or it's not in the right PCI or so, and you are speeding. Imagine that you are driving and you don't know what's the speed in the car. You will get tickets, you will get fines, and so on. So
Yes.
we are the gauges for the management and the board and the audit committee. We are the gauges to tell you where is the things are wrong and how to fix it. The another example
Yes.
is we are the auditors. It's like a doctor. I always repeat this example and start to be annoying or a joke for some of the people. I told them, we are like a doctor. When you go to the doctor and you feel a pain, for example, in your heart or wherever, and the doctor will put you in the operation room. He cut your skin. He do something to fix it, and he put you in pain in the hospital for a few days or so. Then at the end, with all of that pains and suffering, you will say to the doctor, "Thank you very much."
Yes.
Why? Because you know that it's better for future. So
Absolutely.
that's us.
Absolutely. I love those metaphors, Maher. It's quite funny. We really are.
Yeah.
I laughed when you said the doctor because my mom, bless her soul, was a nurse. And so,
Oh.
you know how you said people did not understand internal audit? She said to me, "What did you do, Rania? Like, what is it that you do? Like, you're not a lawyer, you're not an engineer. What
Okay.
is it that you do?"
Yeah.
And I used to say, so she was, bless her soul, she was a nurse. So I said, "Mom, you understand medicine, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
I am like a doctor. I'm like a company doctor. I come and inspect what's wrong, help them heal so they can get better." And so it's
Yeah.
funny you
Yeah.
share that. It's funny. It's funny.
Excellent. Let me ask you another question.
Sure.
I will not forget the other question
All
because
right. All
I
right.
like.
Okay. Sure. Sure.
Okay. I heard that you are launching a new leadership development program for internal auditing and GRC, focusing on strategic business partner. Uh, we gonna see you in Riyadh soon or not?
Inshallah, inshallah. So far, I worked a lot with the clients, like with the company. I would go and help them directly in terms of advisory and training their teams, etc. But I've made a decision that in 2026, I am packaging all that 28-year experience and I'm taking it into a really very special program that I want to
Mhm.
launch in different cities. We'll be having in London, inshallah. We'll be having it in Dubai, inshallah. And with pleasure, I would love to come to Riyadh, inshallah. And when all this is confirmed, I will let you know. But definitely,
Sure.
especially since there's such a huge internal audit community there. Of course, you can see me there. You can expect me there.
Sure. Sure. So please allow some time for us in RCU.
Ah, with pleasure. Well, it would be a program open to people, so you can sign up and come.
Sure, I will. I will.
Right. Okay. And of course, I'll come for more coffee and dates.
Anytime, anytime.
Thank you, Maher. Maher, conscious of your time, because I know you're very busy with meetings. So I would like to ask you some more questions if you don't mind.
Sure.
So I know that your team won the Gold Award from the Saudi Authority. And I'd love to understand what was your strategy to get there? What were the changes you've made, the culture, the systems, the things that you've built, so that we can inspire other leaders who might be listening to us?
Okay. Honestly, we did a lot of things. Otherwise, we will not be able to win the golden prize. We applied the IIA standard, the latest one, even before when it is due, which is January 2025. We applied it in 2024 once it is released.
Mhm.
We try to put all of the best practices around. We have the advisory, we have the continuous auditing. We are now trying or implementing the IA, the AI in our department. We do a lot of things, different than the norm, let's say. So all of that with the help of definitely my strong, wonderful, family-oriented team that helps definitely anyone to be successful. So it's actually it's not my success. It is the internal auditing team success and the Royal Commission for Al-Ula definitely success at the end.
Beautiful.
It's not written with my name. It's written with the Royal Commission for Al-Ula. I
Beautiful.
know that me and my team played big role on that. I thank them very well. I thank them, a lot for that. And again, without the team, I'm nothing. I cannot do anything. We that in Arabic we always say one hand never clap.
Good.
So yeah, yeah. So I think the key thing is applying the standard, the latest standard, and putting all best practices in place. That's the key item.
Wonderful. Congratulations on this
Thank you very much.
milestone. So I have a couple more questions for you. Our last question is going to be in Arabic, actually, so that we can also
Sure,
reach
sure.
all our audience. By the way,
Audience.
this whole conversation will also have Arabic subtitles. I always make sure every
Okay,
podcast,
excellent.
every episode, I personally translated in Arabic to make sure we
Wow.
reach all audiences in the Arab world. At the end of the day, we need to spread the love equally everywhere and make everyone included and give them easy access to the knowledge. Maher, when you look at your journey and you look at what you've built over the years, uh, since my podcast is called Impact and Legacy, what legacy would you like, to leave behind for the profession, for your team, for yourself?
Okay. A lot of things, Rania, honestly, but you thankfully mentioned one important thing, or very important thing, let's say. We always looked at as a policeman or somebody who's annoying us and came to dig and found mistakes.
Yes.
I want. We are trying. I'm sure you the same, and you mentioned it. We are trying our best to change this, impression and let everyone know that we are different than that. But how can we do that? We have to start with ourselves. We have to change ourselves. We have to apply the methodology that we are a partner. We are here to help you as a management or anyone in the entity to help you to achieve your objective effectively and with efficiency. So when we start with ourselves, we change that deeply in our heart, then our way of communication, our way of reporting, our way of talking with the people will definitely be changed. Then we will convince them that we are here to help you. We are here partnering with you. We are here shoulder by shoulder towards the objective, to achieve the objectives. Once they feel that, once they truly, deeply in their hearts knows that we are here to help, we are here, different, then let's say that's the legacy that I want to achieve.
Beautiful.
Thanks God, in the Royal Commission for Al-Ula and in all places that I'm working with, as a board member or audit committee chairman or member, I'm trying to put that, let's say, philosophy in the minds of everyone around me, either here, even if we are talking with people that they never knows auditing, and we said, oh, you are the bad people that nobody likes. I really, get not
Mm.
upset, but I'm trying to explain to them that no, this is not the right thing. We are, here to help. We are here to achieve the objectives. We are the radars and the gates, as we
Yes.
mentioned before. So
Yes.
we are not here as. But again, the most important thing is we believe on that and we apply that in
100%.
deeply in our heart. Then we can do it.
100%. I mean, we're so aligned, Maher. I really think this is great. Usually, I like to also bring people who don't agree with me, but I love that we are so aligned because this is so essential for our profession. Maher, يعني حلقة حلوة كتير. تناقشنا فيها بأمور كتيرة، وإن شاء الله تكون مفيدة لكل مستمعينا، أو خاصة بالعالم العربي. وبما أنه حضرتك بالعالم العربي يا ماهر، حبيت أنا كمان أنه نوجه رسالة معينة للشباب والصبايا اللي عم بيسمعونا، إن كان بالسعودية، بالخليج، بشمال أفريقيا، بلبنان، سوريا، العراق، everywhere. اوكي. انت كقائد عملت مسيرة ناجحة، بنيت مسيرة ناجحة ومميزة، وعن جد حلوة وبترفع الراس. من خبرتك انت، شو رسالتك، اذا عندك رسالة هيك إلهامية تحفيزية للشباب والصبايا اللي عم يسمعونا، حتى هن كمان يقدروا ياخذوا المبادرة ويبلشوا مسيرتهم اليوم، خاصة يمكن اللي عم بيبلشوا جديد بمسيرتهم، ليقدروا يرفعوا قدرهم بالشغل، ليتقدموا، ليلمعوا، ليبهروا، وهن يعملوا أثر بحياتهم. شو بتكون رسالتك؟
شكرا جزيلا رانيا، فعلا أنا استمتعت اليوم معك كثير،
شكرا.
وأتوقع الحلقة كانت جميلة ومثرية، وزي ما تفضلتي أكثر من مرة احنا نتشارك في كثير من الأفكار، وهذا شيء ممتع أكيد. زي ما تفضلتي للشباب والصبايا، طبعا إحنا لما نقول شباب وصبايا نتكلم على جيل جديد
نعم.
يدخل للمهنة بصراحة هي أشياء كثيرة، لكن من أهمها في نقطة أنا أشوف أنه كثير من الشباب عموما يغفلون عنها، اللي هو العمل والاجتهاد من البداية. بعضهم يقول أنا جديد وخلاص، أنا يعني أي ويل يعني باخذ المعلومات وبتعلم، ويعني بمشي يعني بخطوة ثابتة وقليلة، لكن أنا أرى أنه الاجتهاد في البداية يريح الإنسان في النهاية. لما تجتهد وتكون أنت مجتهد من
اجتهاد
البداية
بالنهاية يريح الناس بالنهاية،
في
I love
النهاية.
it.
بالضبط، يعني انت وانت صغير وانت شباب عندك الوقت وعندك الطاقه وعندك، وغالبا يكون ما يعني ما هو متزوج او ما هي متزوجه، ف they have time، يعني عندهم وقت وعندهم طاقه وعندهم السبونج اللي هو الاسفنجه، يعني بيستوعبوا كل شيء بسرعه. فانت استغل كل العوامل هذه في بدايتك. جيب البروفيشنال سيرتيفيكيشن، شهادات الزماله اللي انت تحتاجها في عملك من البداية. يعني لا تنتظر لما تكبر وتكثر مشاغلك وتقول والله قد فاتك القطار خلاص، يعني بتصير طبعا ما فات نيفر اند، بس انه بيكون اصعب من انك انت صغير وعقلك متفتح وعندك الوقت الكافي والإدارة دائما لما يكون الموظف صغير ودوبه بادي يعني جديد، بيعطوه الوقت ويعطوه الأعذار ويعطوه المساعدة لأنه جديد، يعني ما هو. لكن لما بتقدم في العمل، يعني بعد 5 6 سنوات تبدا الاعذار تعطى لك بقله، لانه يقول لك انت عندك خبره طويله ونحتاج منك ومسؤولياتك بتزيد. لكن في البدايات مسؤولياتك قليله جدا وقوه استيعابك اقوى وعقليتك متفتحه وجاهزه. فهنا الوقت لاستثمار الوقت فيه واستثمار طاقتك وقوتك، اللي زي ما قلنا قبل شوي، تتعب في البدايه ترتاح في النهايه.
كتير كلام حلو. شكرا يا ماهر، حياك الله والله يا ماهر.
الله
هيدي
يحييك.
جواهر للشبيبة اللي عم يسمعونا ليبلشوا مسيرتهم بقوة وبزخم. Maher, it's been a wonderful pleasure to have you on my podcast. Uh,
Thank you very much.
Thank you for making the time. And I look forward to seeing you again برياض. ان شاء الله بنتلاقى قريبا بالرياض، وبنكون كمان عامله لبروجرام انت التيم تبعك بتنضموا لنا ان
إن
شاء
شاء
الله.
الله. إن
Oh,
شاء الله.
all the very best, all the very best on this wonderful journey, and speak again soon.
Thank you, Rania. Thank you very much. And I really enjoyed every minute in our discussion. And I learned a lot from you. And we'll definitely hope to see you again and again and again in Riyadh or anywhere else. And
Likewise.
welcome anytime.
Likewise, thank you ever so much. As I said to you, Saudi feels like home. So, with pleasure. Thank you for joining us on Impact Legacy with me, Rania. If this conversation resonated with you and you'd like to know more about how I could support you and your team with mentoring, advisory, training, and or to speak at one of your events, please get in touch. My contact details and those of Maher are in the show notes below. Thank you, and to the next episode of Impact Legacy with Rania. Thank you for tuning in to Impact Legacy with Rania. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please subscribe or follow so you never miss an episode, and click the bell to be notified of new releases. If this inspired you, please pass it on. Your likes, comments, and shares help us reach more people, because together we can grow this journey of influence, impact, and legacy.